as I said, it took me, because it was an old board, printing the graphic on went a little bit hit and miss, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's a little bit hit and miss, and it's very difficult to figure out, I guess, what it says, but I still like it. It's still kind of a rustic vibe to this board. I was going to add the orange to the top and the bottom, but I actually think I'm just going to keep it like this. But yeah, I wanted to put my partner on the board, so she's on the board now. And being as I said, it took me a while. I wish I could have got a bit better in certain areas, but hey, here we are. I don't think it's too shabby. But yeah, it's like the whole joke I was going to put there, because you see on those things that, you know, people put like censored or parental guidance or something, but I thought to put censored across here was quite funny. So I'm waiting for someone to be like, who's this random girl that's been put on this guy's board? But yeah, I mean, this board is my favourite in design, but this one is my favourite person, obviously, my partner, the missus. So that's what, 3 boards now I've finished off, 3 skateboards. But I'm sorry it took me so much longer to get back on the live, guys. It's generally because, like, it took me so long to print that graphic off, like an unbearable amount of time. I mean, I've been trying to print that graphic on the board now for about 2 hours, so I apologise it's taking me so long. But I'm happy it's done now. Is that, I'll be honest with you, there's some sense of achievement when you obviously finish doing something like that, and like putting the graphic on a board, something like that. Showed the partner first because it's her, see what she thinks, she really likes it. I mean, obviously it is really, I mean, I like rustic stuff anyway, like this old skateboard my old board I refurbished, I kind of like the fact that it's quite rustic anyway. Bear with me, I will show everybody the graphic. I'm going to do the most trivial thing right here for some people. Make a cup of tea like that, a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, welcome back everybody. Sorry it took me a little bit longer than I wanted to do to get the graphic printed off. But because it was an old board I was refurbishing, like, well, not refurbishing, one of my old boards I was, yeah, I guess you could call it a refurbish. But here it is, it's a bit janky. I mean, compared to the other graphic, but I kind of like the rustic look. But yeah, it's my partner, by the way, so people wondering, like, who's this random person who's put on the board? Can you see me? I can see the chat, I can't see you as a person, no. Sorry, I'm not funny. But yeah, welcome everyone. So sorry it took me a little bit longer to get that board done. I've been wanting to do it for a while, put my partner on a board, and the whole joke was that, you know, some boards, like, they have that censored ding or whatever written, that's why I put that there. But it's kind of, it's alright, it went a little bit rustic, so I didn't print off quite exactly how I wanted it to. Like, it went lumpy, but that's because it was a refurbished board. But I don't have an opinion. Do you know why I don't have an opinion? Because I just want everyone to live in peace, bro. Like, you know, I want everyone to live in peace. The moment someone does something wrong, you've done something wrong. You're a bad person, you know. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. If you do something bad, you do something bad. Do you know what I mean? That's just my belief. And it's not a case of, like, I don't know. My stance is the world just needs to, I don't know. I feel like people make too much of an issue out of the smallest things. I don't realise the knock-on effect it has. People go, oh, it's not small, but I didn't even say what, for starters. And 2, I think everything is too small if it impacts everybody else who's just not trying to get involved. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and people go, oh, but it involves everybody. I'm like, why does it? Give me a valid reason why it should. You know, if you choose to instigate something as a person, that's you and you alone to bear this. You don't just start calling everybody else up and be like, well, you have to deal with the shit we've called. Like, I can't commit a crime, get nicked, and then expect everybody else to have a downfall because of it as well, because I decided to commit a crime. That doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest shit. But hey, each their own. coffee. Not that I need it. Well, this. People need to get their mind out of the gutter, bro. Get their mind out of the gutter. Boy, alright. This is like the whole thing I get on about, right? You have to go about this. What do people think I am? People think I'm a Jew. People think I'm a Christian. People think I'm this. People think I'm that. Right. I am a human being. Does that mean anything anymore? You know, we're all human beings. Funny enough, doesn't matter what God you love, or you know, we all come from the same one. There's not multiple creators overlapping blueprints here going like, all right, okay, so you know, you go, all right, does that match? Yeah, cool. Bro, that is do you get what I mean? There's no need to answer that. I don't need to do if I don't. And the reason is, it's giving into what people want to hear. Like, my life is about skateboarding. I have a skateboard company. People want to hear this, people want to hear that. I don't care anymore. I actually don't care. It's ruining life enough people across the board. It's not worth it. Nothing's worth it when it causes as much aggro as it has done. Like, how is it worth it? Think straight, people. Think logically. You know, if I don't like somebody at school, and given it's school or college or workplace, you stay away from them, no? I feel like it's common sense. Bro, if you ask that question one more time. Explain yourself to trouble. Well, yeah, bro, they're the best ones you get. You understand that's what feeds people to keep coming into the life. Everyone else just says something random, 6, 7, or says nothing at all. So I'm going to engage with something. If you actually look, most of them are trolls. And you're too. Bro, you think I'm thick? I am literally a CEO and a founder of a company. It's the opposite of thick. I guess you could be stupid. No, you can be. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, piss off. Bye bye. Bye bye. Oh, peace, bro. Peace. Oh, that was close. No, I hadn't actually fingerboarded since like what, Friday or Saturday? No, Friday, Thursday maybe actually, because babysitting. Clean up. But yeah, so say this was the finally got a coating over there, which I'm super stoked about. But this is one of my boards. Oh, it's so nice, man. I can't wait to release skateboard. Oh, God. Oops, my voice went on. I still think it's breaking, which is wild. But yeah, can't wait for them to drop. I honestly can't. What a game of skate would that be? I would do, but I've not had a warm up yet properly, and I'm going to be rusty as ever. Anything. I showed one on the board I done earlier, it went a bit wrong because it was on an old board, but it's my partner, and she wanted, you know, I wanted to put one like when you get a T-shirt of somebody, like your missus or whatever, and before people start going like, you know, because I know like, how do I possibly pull a girl like that? That is a good question. But just so people know, like, it generally is legitly her. Because someone earlier was like, well, that's not your girlfriend, is it? You just got a random pit. It's not about proving it. It's like, well, it is. Like, you kind of do prove it. What am I meant to do? Sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you won. I don't have a girlfriend, you know? I just switch all the pictures around in the house when my mum comes back with this random person. Like, but no, I kind of like it. It went a little bit wrong because it's on an old board, so it's refurbished. But I think it's quite nice. Obviously, they won't be for sale. This is for me. This is going on my wall. It's like when you have a T-shirt of your partner. And I was like, well, I have the ultimate thing because I have a skate company. So I was like, you know, I'll be doing the other ones as I said, was old board. She helped me refurbish because I don't like waste. And seeing as it still had has a bit of pop left in it. It's alright. That is nice. I just want to do sense things. It's like always taking the piss out of those flipping, what do you call it? top, like, you know where it says censored, but you might as well not say censored because you can see. I always found that quite funny. I was like, what's the point in it? I guess that is the point. There's nothing there, like, anyway. Is it? And the whole thing is, I'm not selling it because that would be, in my opinion, and that people can do what they want and it's their life and their choice. But I will refuse to, like, essentially pimp out my partner just for sales or graphics. You know what I mean? Like, people can go, oh, it's different. People do OnlyFans. I'm like, people do them. People can do them. You know, that's their choice as a person. I'm not slandering that. That's their choice. But you know, I feel like when you work as hard, like I have, bro. I've been at breaking point this week. My partner's like, that's it, I'm buying you a blank board. Because it does, right? I forget. You know, when you're running a business, I'll be honest with you, the stress is astronomically high. There's so much to worry about. You know, income, outgoings, yeah, expenditures, and then, like, I mean, shipping rates, refunds. There's just so much as hell. I've never had to refund anyone, which is really good, but you still got to have that back up just in case. So do a kick flip for sure, bro. I'll do a switch flip and then I'll try a kick flip. I fingerboarded for like 4 days because I've been designing graphics like non-stop and babysitting this weekend. So it's been quite nice for my nieces. Oh, I'm rusty as anything now. Ready? Oh, we're going to take it even though it's terrible. And then we're going to take a nollie flip. No, we're not. We're going to try and take a nollie flip. Right, I only found out about fingerboarding, as in you can do tricks on a fingerboard about 2 years ago. I thought this was fingerboarding. Right, holding the board. I generally legit thought that was fingerboarding. So I was like, it's just like kids going around with their little toy trucks. I did not realise you could flip up, like, I mean, I said it to my partner and she was like, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? And I was like, well, yeah, now you put it like that, which is the stupidest thing. I mean, it's obvious. That's it. All it took me to think for a second. Well, yeah, I guess so. But I guess I thought skateboarding's so complex. You've got no way. You've got little, let's say, example, Timothy, Jimmy, whatever, 3-year-old, 4-year-old hitting the nollie switch flip over crook, bro. Like, what is this? How? I said a trick there. A nollie switch flip. No, a nollie. Oh damn. A nollie flip to over crooked, and then, like, I don't know, switch flip out or something. Just wildness. And I'm like, okay, I think it's a good educator for skating because I learned to fingerboard quicker because I can skateboard. So I'm like, could it be like the other way around too? And then, you know, I decided I wasn't going to make graphics for everyone. I was just like, right, skateboard. I was going to do fingerboard. Way ahead, am I right? Right. I was going to make skateboards or design skateboard graphics, and I was going to make fingerboards for myself because I didn't see a community wanting to be together. And it still has been a bit of hesitation, but at the same time now it's kind of snapped into place. It seems to be growing quite quick. And truthfully, I get it, because I mean, I would love a company that had tops, beanies, jumpers, skate shoes, which I'm going to be working on too, skateboards, and like I'm not going to be sacrificing quality in one area. Like I'll get teams to work on these different products, and it will be like a skate mart. Everything skate, affordable for skaters, but made by the skaters for the skaters. It's so important. Like companies have lost their ways like that. You know, people start a business and do something that they don't give a shit about, and it's just money. Where there are a lot of people, you know, I think skating and a lot of like sort of sports like that, is it called sports? I don't like to call it sports because to me, growing up, it was like anti-culture for sure. You have a lot of skill. I appreciate that. I mean, I think that's to give everyone a bit of a confidence boost. I'm terrible at maths, right? I'm honestly shit. Like, if you gave me like, I didn't even pass. I think I barely just got through my GCSEs maths. But English, art, history, yeah, I was good with all those things, to be fair. But it's because, I don't know, I zone out. Probably because of my ADHD, I just look into things a little better sometimes. But sometimes, I mean, seriously. Like, trying to get that graphic on the board this morning, I almost just lost the plot completely. I was like getting deranged at this thing, like, why are you not working? And it started to peel, and then, because you got to remember, like, when you heat prints a graphic on, it is essentially a direct-to-film print, which is done with hot rollers and whatever and heat, and it's like gas when it heats up because it comes off the film and goes into the board, onto the board, right? And then you have to coat the board, and you have to make sure that coating on the board doesn't actually like melt or it's heat resistant. And if you haven't, like, say if I've run out of heat resistant ones before, I've had to be really cautious, which you can still work it. But I mean, it's decisions like that that are so like business changing. The smallest decision, using the last few pieces of wood to put in a mold, and then, okay, am I going to try this glow-in-the-dark graphic, and then it goes wrong and you just wasted like 2 pieces of wood. Now that might not seem like a lot, but when you're a small business, I mean, when you think about it, if you're Greggs or a franchise or anything, you could technically just order more in. You know, they'll send it in there. They've got millions and millions and millions to work with. But when you've got limited stock to work with and limited customers, that is very difficult. You got to remember like exactly what everybody wants. And that's why I got to a point where I realised you've got to be your ideal client. And I'm like, well, it's funny because I would buy if it came to all the products I have, I would literally buy them from what I'm selling most last to what I'm not selling, I would buy most. And I'm like, I realise where I'm kind of going wrong there a little bit. Now, it should never always just be about what you enjoy. It's like finding a nice balance. I think, as I say, I wanted to make skateboards because truthfully I wanted skateboards myself. I always wanted a skateboard company, affordable skate company. I was in care. I wanted an affordable fascia. So when I set about making tops, beanies and jumpers and skateboards, all with the same logo, so it'd be, after years it'd be identifiable as one big skate company that cares about the skate community. So I throw skate competitions, I'll do giveaways, and I've already done that before. I've already done it before we can, learn to walk before you can run, right? And I've been done the giveaways at moments where realistically didn't seem possible, but it just felt the right thing to do. Like, I mean, when I say not possible, I'm not completely just like, that's it, I'm out of business and completely, because I'm smart with it. I've invested enough to a point where you hold assets and it's something you could kind of shelf, because if I was to work on it with another person or own partnership with a company, the issue there lies in that they might want to leave, they might want to take assets out, and it just goes wrong. So you do everything yourself. Essentially, where I have all the molds, all the things like this, and the skill there now, I could just shelf it for like a month or two if I needed to, and you could come back. Because I want, and that's like the emergency case, like I would always take. I would never just close this business down. I'm never just gonna like, oh yeah, cool. I want this to be like a legacy brand in the UK, like Heron Skateboards. I find it quite funny because they're called Heron Skateboards, and you've got Skate Addiction. Like a lot of companies in the UK seem to be kind of like associated addiction. But I do really relate to Heron Skateboards because I'm pretty sure, and like, don't quote me on this 100%, but I think he was an addict himself, and skateboarding pretty much saved him. The same goes, man. But like that's why it's so relatable. And I feel like skating, not even just skating itself, I think showing people the ability to like actually form a love around something that's not on your phone, something that's actually a physical activity, can actually heal you so much. Like it is incredible. People don't even realise, man. As I say, like I've obviously slipped disc in my spine, tore ACLs, compound fracture, and I'm still quite happy. And like, I mean, look at my arm, like this. They give me coating, they give me diazepam and preamp. Don't people see like where the scar is, the compound fracture, the bone came out my arm. Doesn't really like. There's moments it aches, right? Of course, because there's like been trapped nerves and stuff like that. But bar that, I mean, it's manageable, right? But then have you believe it's pain's long lasting. But the thing is, I think pain comes with being drained. So if you're stressed all the time, not doing what you like as well, you're more likely to be pissed off with the pain because you just. I mean, that's a given, but it really does drain you more. Where like. Do you know the time when you just lay down and do nothing, you get really tired, you're like, how have I managed to lay down and get more tired than days where I've done this so much? It's like your body starts to like hibernate almost. And I think it's a similar thing really. Anyway, so I'm going to go for this, guys, and then... oh, I'm feeling rough, but I've got a cold from the... So it always happens when I babysit my partner's nieces, bless them, is because, I mean, kids are just... walking, talking, illnesses pretty much, I find, because it's like their way, I guess your body's building up immunity to it, so you get ill quite often when you're younger. So I'm not ill, I have a bit of a congestion is a word, isn't it? But yeah, as I say, my partner's like, it's funny, my partner's like, I was like, oh, wait till next time to get the skateboards, and she's been so supportive, bless her, so everyone can thank her. No, I'm not joking, she has like, that's why I say, like, when I'm going to release a product or something first, or I don't know, I always run it by her first, even though it's my business. We're a couple or a team, and it takes both of our money in a way, because whatever my money is her money's my money, ish. I mean, I understand to a degree you have your own sort of, 100%, whatever you have is yours. But I mean, whatever you give into the relationship as well, which is like 100% at any one time, obviously. But yeah. She's amazing, really. The company just. That's why I also done a graphic with her on the board. I mean, as I say, she likes it. I don't mind it. I'm pretty pissed off about the quality and how it turned out. But it's okay still. It's not too bad. I mean, It was just because where the board's obviously a old one that I've refurbished, there's lumps in it and areas and bumps, and it didn't print the best on it. But I like it. Don't worry. I say don't worry. There's people like, can I get a board when it's like clear quality? It's not for sale. It's just for me. It's like one of those T-shirts that say like, you know, my girlfriend or something like that. Because I don't believe in pimping out. That's the only way I can put it. Pimping out your partner. When you have the ability to make money, I'm not disrespecting that. Like, you know, it's one of the first professions, paid professions. Not actual OF, but like, you know what I mean. Getting off topic here. I don't believe in like pimp out my ride, pimp out my girl. No, I don't. I don't believe in. I just don't believe in it. I think it's wrong. I think it goes against, you know, what's it called? I mean, it goes against that, you know, monogamy. Do you know what I mean? It goes against it, I think. I mean, if you're both okay with it, cool, but at the same time, it's like essentially like an open relationship, and that's each their own, not like dissing on it at all. But yeah, I am really like proud with the board, happy with the board, but it just took about 2 hours longer. You have a lot of skill. Thank you. I don't know if was that one from? No, that was a new comment, but yeah. He has like already done it, but I mean, I do like it. I do really like the graphic. I'm not going to say it'll probably just go on my wall, but when I have a workshop, I can't wait till one day to come alive with that, right? Everybody, welcome to Workshop, man. I like a little office space, right? I'll try and rent out somewhere because I really want to have like a skate park in there as well, like a little with ramps. So I'll do that on the live, yeah. I only have like skate or like, and then have a place where I can do podcasts and stuff like. Oh, it'd be perfect. I'm so excited. So excited. What is that from? Oh shit, that's Kevin Hart, isn't it? Well, it's time to, you know, start. I reckon it's time to out with the old, you know, in with the new, sort of with all these celebrities and stuff. I physically can't watch a lot of them anymore. I'm like, well, you've ruined it for yourself, haven't you, mate? Because what I imagine them is like, I don't know. We can all imagine what I'm imagining. Bro, I swear I inspired. I swear I inspired so many kids to skate. Not just me, but definitely on my stick. Because I go out for a skate, and then like last summer, there were like 5, 6 kids that got skateboards, and then like a few weeks ago, there was someone that nearly ran me over, and I was like, shit. And to think I said about it on the live, I had my headphones in, carry on going, so I wasn't in the mood. And then when I looked up again, when I got round the corner, there was like this old man like trying to flag me down. He came in the road, and I was like, oh, okay, right, what's wrong? Thinking I'd done something, like I annoyed somebody. He was like, no, I've seen your business, I've seen your live. His kid had. And he was the granddad of the kid who wanted to learn to skate, and he was like, I was like, oh yeah, just any time. But it's so weird. It was like, what a small world, I guess, in a way. I guess like you are going to be like, if people were connected to my lives halfway across the world, then people close by would be, kind of logically make sense, really. Right. Anyway, let me do this. As I say, the board took a lot longer than I anticipated, because I think I said I'll be on by like 8:30, back onto like 8:45, and then here I am at like 11 o'clock. And I guess this is me being real. I did rage with the board quite a lot. I'm surprised that it's still in peace, intact. I mean, I did get quite mad with it. We're all human. It just carried on like I cut myself, and then I like burnt myself as well. As I've done a burn here, I already burnt the same burn I burnt myself on there. Cut my finger open. I was like, great, this morning it's one of those days where everything just goes wrong. Like, it was slapstick. It was like Lauren and Hardy sort of comedy, like, you know, you're falling all over the place, and then you turn around, you twat someone out with the pole, and then you turn around, you twat them out, and then you knock yourself out. It's literally just like a walking comedy this morning. Like, believe me, there'll be times on lives which there's one time at band camp. What's that? Why does my brain keep quoting movies at the moment? I ain't done that since I was like. Does anyone remember that period back, like, I don't know, 10 years ago plus, when everyone was quoting movies? Like, just everything you would like, hey, I'm Dory, or like, it didn't matter what it was. It could be a Disney movie, it could have been flipping. Is that Disney Pixar? I don't. Who gives a shit? My point is, it could have been any movie, and people quoted it. People, Pulp Fiction, flipping, Wolf of Wall Street. Like everything was quoted. Do you know what I mean? And now, I mean, when you quote things, you'd seem like a weirdo. You'd be like, what? I started to play some like memes to our nieces, and it's like, you know, the brain rot equivalent. You forget we had it. Oh, so much worse these days. Poor kids. So don't ever get that, because they don't realise, like, sometimes it's going to mess them up more than it is. And we're like, and when you tell them, I was your age once, and they're, you know, they're thinking, so, no you weren't, or whatever. Have you been, sort of, wait, that's what I mean. But we all like, I find that quite funny as well, because I mean, people are very similar. It's weird how like energies, and people might think this is hippie like, but I am a bit of a hippie, how energies meet sometimes. Like just talking about a few things, and then you realise like the person who's listening, or the people who listen, actually like a whole range more things. It's like things are like interconnected. It's weird. Right, anyway, I really appreciate it. I will actually be back in 10 minutes this time. It's not a case that I'll be back on the board to take that 20 minutes. I've done the board now. I'm done. I'm done today. It took me 2 hours of flipping pressing. It's not like it should have taken that long. I don't know why it took so long to press. Sometimes like the heat doesn't get it enough. Sometimes like it needs enough combination of heat. Like it's 250 flipping degrees Celsius. Like it is really hot. What's that? Like 304. I don't know. It's like Fahrenheit ish. It is hot. And that's why I get burns all over my bloody fingers. But you got to keep going, because if you let it cool down while you're trying to press it, you're like, you want burns all over your fingers, like whimpering, like in pain. You're like, oh, you got to keep doing it. It's horrible. I need to get heat resistant gloves, really. That's a good idea. But the issue is, if something gets caught, it'll just come off anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, things like pinch, grab, heat, melt, not great. It's really not great. Not whimpering, but you know when you're like just, if you haven't been burnt all over and you like just they hurt obviously, and you're trying to, and you're meant to go cool them down quickly and put them under cold water, like that honestly really does make such a difference, because obviously it is just burning down. I like to see it as like you have become a piece of bacon in a frying pan for about 2 minutes. You know, because it generally does like cook. Your skin sort of cooks. The only reason it sort of, it's weird, it like uncooks, because I guess that, not uncooks, but like that bit of skin regenerates and just goes hard and tough and it'll die, but then more will regenerate around it and stuff like that. So no, they're not vapes, bro. I could not stand a boardsmith. I like that. You got blacksmith boards. Do you know what, to be fair, you work with wood. What, are you a carpenter? I don't know, because carpentry, I can do carpentry and stonemasonry. I've done that before. I'm actually really good at stonemasonry. To the point where I'll have to try and get, well, I get my mum to send me the, well, Joe, I messaged her today, to be fair, because I said I'd do it a while ago and I keep forgetting, but the stonemasonry piece I've done when I was 11, I went to this course with this college where it was like the adults could come with the kids. It was something that my foster mum wanted to do with me. But the lady came past and she was like, you have to come back and do classes. It has to be with an adult, because it was like 25 and over. But if I was with them and I would behave well, they said one time I screamed and shouted, because all these adults came in to just chill out. But I'm a very different person. Like, I know I've got a lot of energy, I talk on the live, but in person I just sat there really chill and preserved. I don't really, what's there to talk about? I mean, really. I'm just quite chill, calm and collected in that way. But if I can, when I first started doing lives about a year and a half ago, I just sat there thinking, you know what, I just, don't want to like chat shit, because I'm not going to chat shit anyway. I just thought that I end up just talking facts, saying real things that people kind of want to hear, people things can relate to, agreeable. It's like preaching, isn't it? It's like amen to that, brother. But that's the sort of vibe you kind of get, and then connect over common ground, and that's what we need these days. Connect like people to find things that they like. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I've seen rabbis and Muslims and Jews literally. There's a video where they hugged it out, after recent events in Australia. They said we don't need this, and I thought that was the most heart. People don't understand how much that means, what that actually means. Of course, they don't want to show that because they want the divide. There are people who are sick to death with all the fighting and nonsense, and it is. That's why when people ask me how I'm actually done with it, I'm like, well, to be honest with you, as I said, I feel like everyone has a right to defend themselves. But once you overstep a mark, you overstep a mark. That's the truth of it. Like, if I had to protect my partner from an intruder, and that intruder unfortunately was unalived in the process, that's just it. That's life. That's happened. Hopefully it wouldn't, but I mean, that's how I see things. It's like you're already kind of, I guess, in my psychopathy. And people think I'm different from that, but they don't realise how non-different you will be. You just haven't not been to that level yet. And when they are, they're like, oh damn, quite a shocker. You got to remember, we are just our ancestors. We're just carbon copies of our ancestors. There's a little bit more, what we call like evolution. A little bit more. All we are is a carbon copy that has hopefully learnt from our ancestors, so we don't repeat. Because otherwise, you don't know history, you're destined or doomed. The best way to say it, you're doomed to repeat it. Facts. Right, I'm shut. Go for this now. I really appreciate them, by the way. It's been growing quite quick lately, to be fair. We went up by 100 followers in like a day or two, and I was like, what? How's that even happened? That wasn't happening on this platform before. It might have been like 3 days, but still, it was close enough, you know what I mean? Cologne? So I was reading that then, like collage, colony. I was like, what? My brain, why can't it read a word? I was like, oh, cologne. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes you ain't got to be all smart to know anything and still fool people. No, I'm joking. I do know stuff, just not everything. That's the truth of it. Who knows everything? I mean, bro, your brain actually learns stuff to learn new stuff at a certain point. So that's why when you start to get forgetful of things, it's because you start to know too much. You could literally pointless information like the movie quotes and songs. That space taken up, valid space. But sometimes, I guess, having that fun side for sure. Bro, I'll be honest with you, my cologne is called like Oda Green, Oda Herb, Oda Naturel. No, I don't, bro. I don't even have a cologne. Those guys that have a distinct smell, I'm like, what is that shit? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's giving, and this is what we used to call it in school, but like pretty boy energy. It's fine if you want to look after yourself. There's well looked after, and then there's spending longer in the bathroom than your missus, right? I like to just get out of bed in the morning and just be done. Maybe have a shower to do whatever, nice and easy. Because I mean, how convenient in a world we live in where everything, you can go have a wash. What if you live in everything goes tomorrow, water goes, like what you may do? Well, I'm used to having a shower. Like, you shower, you should stay clean. But like having like 100%, like every time you get water down your top, you change it rather than just letting it dry, because it's just water. Like, bro, we're potentially about to live in a world that you can't not do that in, so better adapt now. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. That's why I like fingerboarding, bro, because I mean, seriously, I could just sit there and fingerboard is my hobby, my passion. No electrics, no plug, no anything. You know what I mean? It's wonderful. It literally requires nothing. I don't even have to do it half the time to stay bloody interested in it either. Overdoing something, not great either. Right, anyway, I'm shut. I will be back in 10 minutes from this point. 10-15 minutes from this point. Not 10 minutes ago, because I mean, technically, I'd already be back. Fact, innit? So true. But yeah, dirty English. I don't know, the vibes is just, look at like, I know it's trying to give you an example. Like, Tom Hardy, right? Great British actor. I don't know the saying about him, I know it's from Peaky Blinders, stuff like that, but he's even said, like, he spends time with his dog, he's really nice, like, he loves animals, like, unbelievable. But he's also like, he's what I call an actual man. man that probably got the chivalry, someone that will open the door, someone that has self-respect, but understands he is only as much as he gives. He's not, the world doesn't owe him shit. It means a lot, really. People need to learn that, because people just born and then they think, yeah, hallelujah, I am a messiah. No, you're an obed with a god complex. Facts. Where am I from? I'm from everywhere, bro. I literally, quite literally, I mean that. Like, my fam, this is why I find it so funny. Everyone's so, like, split up. I literally am from, half my family's from South Africa, some come from Romania, but then through Europe, and lived in Germany, really just everywhere. And then they decided to go to Wales to have me. Wales in England, that is. What's occurring? I did apparently want to have a Welsh accent a bit, but you know, it's not there anymore. But yeah, my point is we're everywhere. And like, I'm down in the UK, and you know, the funny thing is, you know, if I was to go to a rugby game for England, like English and Welsh are notoriously like, you know, against it. Like they really do. It's like, even though we're like the same bloody, I can't even call it a continent, bro. It's like an island, right? Even though it's the same island. People are like, I mean, Ireland and England are technically more different and more vast because they are across the, you know, a bit of water. I love it as like cousins across the pond. That would essentially be to you guys. It needs to be cousins across the pond and then, well, across, you know, like over. So I mean, it's not directly over. Do you know what I mean? You got Ireland first. I mean, Southern Ireland is definitely a different place, obviously. But Ireland is crazy rough. I mean, seriously. Northern Ireland's not too bad. Ish. Crazy. In a good way, I guess. You know. They're very patriotic. Can't blame them, really. I mean, to be honest with you, English were horrible to like a lot of countries. I think we can all agree with this. This is the truth. History's horrible. And there's a guy I watch, an Australian guy who talks about like these animals in Australia, talk about, I don't know, it's his accent makes it just funny when he talks about like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch it when I go out and come back in and like just give him a shout, because I find him hilarious. And he always takes the piss out of British colonising everybody. But the reason I laugh is because, I mean, people now can't even bloody colonise their own back garden. Or kids are being overrun by, parents are being overrun by their kids. And at one point, you know, 250 troops, or however many it was, probably was in the thousands, I don't know, had control over Africa. How's that work? How do you even pull that off? That's like mind control wizardry shit. No wonder UK is a home of Hogwarts, right? Just saying. You're a wizard, Harry. Right, I'm gonna shut up. Go for a smoke. Oh, anyway. Sorry. I think I'm funny sometimes, right? I don't know what that says. You're welcome. I'm from, what's it called? Sesame Street. Because I'm a Muppet. If that wasn't obvious. See, it isn't funny when you have to explain it, but that one needed, like, I feel like people now thought, what's that? Because it is quite old now, isn't it, really, to be fair? Right. But why am I... It's because I'm really stupid. My mouth feels small today. Normally I can take big gulps of coffee. And today I'm like laughing it back off. That was better. Elmo says bye. Oh, do you know what I used to do? I like doing impressions and voices and shit. And I'm not going to do it, don't worry, because it's going to be terrible. Absolutely terrible. I just find it really impressive, like, the puppeteers and stuff. I don't know if anyone else does this, but if they've ever tried to like mimic doing like a Muppet or something, or like a puppet, whatever they call it, then I'd move the mouth the wrong way around all the time. I know it sounds like an easy thing to fix, but I think it's quite impressive. I love when someone whacks it into reverse and then like, woo. Anyway, right, shut up, Josh. I'm off. Adios. I do appreciate everyone there this morning and being patient. Like, I was going to say, that sounded rude, but I was going to say, like anyone had a choice, like I had a choice either. Unfortunately, the board took such a long time to print. And just in case anyone didn't see it quickly again, one more time, but then I am in live. Went a bit wrong. But yeah, before anyone knows, it's a random person, it's my partner on the board as well. Because I feel like I was going to put my girlfriend, but it's like, what's that? It's just like, I don't like that word either. Girlfriend's just childish to me. You know, it was when kids are like, oh, I've got a girlfriend, rather than like, I have a partner or a missus. Just feels a little bit mature and older. But anyway, I'm shut. Leave you all. Love you all, leave you all. And I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So, well, actually, there's no point. Different time zones. 1:30 for me now. Anyway, peace, love. Catch you then. So it's also, let's say, when I'm trying to say bye and end the live, it's really awkward because I just feel like I'm trying to tap on this off button. I'm like, all right, come on then. Right, peace.